Welcome to In the Green Room. I'm Kinga.
And I'm Chet.
This is Martin.
This is Dr. Stu Chef, or Stu.
Welcome back, Dr. Stu.
And I brought a special...
And Patty, your better half.
Yes.
That's right, we had to
The
keep
better
them apart.
half. Oh my goodness.
I'm the quiet one.
And celebrate. Cheers. They're
Cheers.
getting married.
They're getting married.
And
That's why,
it's-
because this is, a G-rated show. We had to have Chet keep
And it was
them
my
apart.
idea.
Yes.
I told Dr. Stu, I said, you are so lucky to have her. And I think you guys should get married. I told him that like 3 or 4 times. And
All right, so I'm curious, Kinga. Why
Are you
did
like trying
put...
to take credit?
Did the
for
show
the-
start?
Give her some
Did the
credit.
show start yet?
Oh yeah, the show's going.
Yes,
yeah,
it's
it's
going.
already. Dr.
Cheers,
Stu's a minute
Dr. Stu.
behind, everybody.
And
So this is my third bottle of wine. The first 2 were really good.
Yeah. All right,
So
so,
what do we-
Kinga, so why
Okay.
did you put Chet in between the two, the lovebirds?
Just so I could like. Get
Because
get
you wanted to
get the
be.
dirt on
Oh,
things.
I
She can give me the
see.
real story.
I see. You.
Yeah.
wanted
You
to-
can't handle
I
the
should have
truth.
known better.
Yes,
I totally
yes,
should have known better.
yes.
No,
totally.
she can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
No, she can't.
So, Dr. Stu, you're in a food competition.
Okay, so yeah, this
Tell
is
us about
a
it.
great thing.
Mhm.
And I don't know how I even found out about it, but it's called The Favorite Chef, and they do it every year. But basically what it is, it's a food competition, but I don't think anyone tastes your food. They just see the pictures of your food. And
That's a major flaw.
But-
But,
you think it's a flaw, but what it is there were 150,000 people who entered this.
That's a
And
lot
it's
of
gonna
folks.
get down
150,000?
to one person.
Wait a minute,
Okay.
150,000
150,000.
worldwide?
Sent
Worldwide.
pictures of their food
Wow.
that they made.
And they
Wow.
enter this contest called Favorite Chef.
Okay.
And they get, it's done through Facebook mostly, and they get people to vote for them.
Okay.
And so I'm here basically so that you'll all
Vote for you.
Vote
Got
for
it.
you.
vote for me.
Okay, so how do
And-
people
All right, so
vote
how
for
do-
you?
Okay,
where
you
do
don't
we go?
just vote once.
Yeah.
You vote daily.
Oh, every
because
day.
every 24 hours you get a free vote. Because they also have a fundraiser involved where you can pay for votes for somebody
Okay.
and have that vote.
So he's going to look it up right now.
And
Yeah. All right. So
if
where
you-
do I? If I'm on
So he's looking
Facebook,
right
what is
now.
the,
or
He's
was that
looking
a-
at it.
what is the prize? Like, do you
Just-
get?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
okay,
Oh,
so
I just
wait.
have to scan a QR code.
Yeah,
That's
you
easy.
Chet, your hair looks so good. Deep Chetty music looks
See
great
that
today.
little-
All right. So we just gotta scan.
What is the prize for the competition if you win?
Oh, the winning prize.
Bragging
is-
rights or?
I think it's like what 20,000 or
25,000.
something.
Oh, that's a
25,000.
really great prize. Yeah.
Well, honestly, I'm not doing it for the money.
Of course you are.
What the
No,
bragging
no. Because what I
You got to get her another ring.
Okay, wait.
She already showed me the ring she wants. Another
What,
one.
you want her to downgrade?
No.
No. She loves her ring. She loves her ring.
Okay.
That's
So-
a joke.
Okay,
It's
so
inside
here's the thing. It's going to go down to one person, and you vote in steps. And when you get to the last couple of steps, each new step, you lose all your previous votes and you start all over again. So if you actually go to the link that we're going to have, or if you follow me on Facebook,
Okay, what's your
and the
Facebook?
easiest way to find me on Facebook is Dr. Stu, the number 1.
Dr. Stu #1.
Yeah, because if you
Okay.
do that, you'll see Stuart Cohen, and it'll be a picture of me, probably with a cigar in my mouth or something like that.
Oh, that's right. Everybody needs to know he's a big cigar smoker.
Anyway, so it'll be easy to find, or on
He smokes
on
cigars every day.
Instagram. In Instagram, it's Dr. Stu Chef. You can find me BRSTUCHEF, and you'll be able to find me. And I think we'll put the links up on the. When this thing gets
We'll do all the
recorded.
links.
We'll do everything we
So,
can.
Dr. Stu, for people that have not heard or seen you on a previous show, can you give us a little background on your doctor and how you have this passion for the cooking and how
Okay.
how this?
I'm going to actually go a step further because
Okay.
for this contest,
Okay.
I also created what I call the Dr. Stu Chef Manifesto.
Oh, I love that.
I'm gonna read it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great.
Great things. These are called thin optics. They stay on my phone. I'm not an owner of the company. It says, Dr. Stu Chef Manifesto. The only way I could do this if you listen.
We're gonna listen.
I am not a chef yet. I am a retired anesthesiologist, a culinary school graduate, and a relentless home cook. I bring the same precision, drive, and heart that guided my medical career into every dish that I make, from handmade pasta, which we're going to have a little today, and homemade pizza, which you've had in the past.
Very good.
Cooking isn't just something I do. I teach, connect, and inspire others to slow down, cook with intention, and create food that truly matters. I believe real meals aren't fast or flashy. They're built on patience, skill, and love, which is the very foundation of the slow food movement. I entered the favorite chef contest not for the title, but for the opportunity to be a leader of a movement, to help others rediscover the beauty of cooking for themselves. This is more than food. This is passion, purpose, precision. This is Dr. Stu Chef, and I am just getting started.
Cheers!
Dun,
Cheers.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, Dr.
Not too hokey, sorry guys.
No.
So
it was
I'm
incredible.
checking out this.
So that was one of the recipes that I made, and I
When did you write that? I love it.
a couple days ago.
It's amazing. And
Thank
you
you.
know,
He did it pretty quick because he's
everything he does,
Really
he does
witty.
it like 100%.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
120.
And that's how I know he's gonna be-
120%.
That's how, and that's great coming from her,
He
your
does.
future wife.
All energy
Because-
is put into it.
Yes.
My life.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. And that's how you are. And so,
So I made up those recipes.
Mhm.
That was actually specifically for a contest within a contest, because one of the sponsors for this thing is the Hawaiian Buns
Oh
company.
yeah, I love
Really?
those things.
And so you had to do something
With the Hawaiian buns?
Hawaiian buns. And so I made a
Really?
which one are you looking at?
The Hawaiian shrimp toast.
Yes, so I made
Very
shrimp
interesting.
toast
A
with
shrimp
Hawaiian buns.
mm,
And they came out pretty good.
They
Well,
look amazing.
tell us
what-
Now I want to know what
went in
this ponzu sauce is. It sounds like a
Ponzu,
scheme.
you could actually just go to Trader Joe's and pick it up off the shelf.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
have to make it, but you could make it too, and you can Google
So
how
did
to
you
make
create-
it.
I was wondering if you could potentially make like a cool little po' boy with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You,
like,
you could do it. I did a
you like
couple
light
of
fry
other.
the shrimp.
Yeah,
I did a
that's kinda
couple
what I'm
other
seeing.
things too.
Yeah.
I did a what are the other ones that we made using
Well,
the buns?
This used the soy sauce. This is kind of more of like the kind of like Asian flair with the
Right, because you want to,
flavors.
capture the
Mhm.
Hawaiian theme.
Flair.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I did one with pork belly.
Ooh, yeah.
That was really good. A charchu
Yeah.
pork belly,
It was good.
Yeah.
and I did. Oh, I did one that was one of my buddies gives me this Armenian Lebanese thing called toum. You know what toum is? Toum.
No.
You make an emulsion of garlic and oil, and a little lemon in it, and I shred
Garlic,
some.
oil, and lemon.
Yeah, you make it. It looks like a mayonnaise almost. It
Okay.
thickens up and it becomes an emulsion, and then you put that with some roasted chicken and pickles,
Ooh.
and mix it
Sounds
together
good.
and
It's
eat it on the
actually
bun.
really
It's
good.
just a
It's like a-
great flavor
like a-
combination.
like a-
I almost brought you some today, but I
really good.
had some other ideas for today.
I'm excited to hear about the pasta that you brought.
Interesting.
Oh.
Tell us about the pasta a little bit.
Okay, so the pasta that I made is a really simple dish.
Mhm.
Well, simple in that
Simple to you.
it's
Not
simple
so
except for the
much,
fact
yeah.
that the
Simple,
pasta
yeah.
itself is homemade pasta.
Mhm.
Right, right.
You know, so I made the pasta yesterday so
Mhm.
that we can have fresh pasta, because I think that certain dishes, fresh pasta is better than dry pasta. Not every dish, but certain. So this dish is very simple.
Do you make your own noodles?
Yes.
Stop
That's
it.
what
My
making
own
fresh
pasta,
pasta
that's what
means.
Yeah,
pasta
he goes
is.
from
Well,
flour. I was shocked with the first time
No,
I
no,
saw
I
the
made
whole
the pasta,
operation and
Wow.
taking
Put it through the
hands.
machine.
It's like, oh my gosh, that's how you do it.
Wow, you're so lucky.
Actually,
I
that
am.
Do you
dish,
clean the kitchen?
I do. I'm better at cleaning than cooking.
that pasta
It works.
dish is in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I made it ahead of time, and we're keeping it warm right now. But I also made 2 other dishes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to plate everything out, and then we'll hand out the plates, and I'll explain what each plate.
But
what-
Dr. Stu, for the
Yes.
people that have not seen a show with you before and your enthusiasm for cooking, can you tell them your history?
My history.
you-
Okay,
like
so my
your
history is I
doctors-
said I was an anesthesiologist.
Okay.
I had to stop practicing at one point in my life.
Why?
Actually, 25 years ago, I had a health problem, and after
And you had
that,
good insurance.
after that,
Well, that's important.
Yes, good insurance.
That's important.
It's
It's
very
good to have
important in
It's
life.
very
Yes.
important because if you didn't have
so
good insurance, you
after
wouldn't have
that,
been able to stop.
I went to
Exactly.
culinary school for a year, and then I
Yeah.
worked in industry for another 15 years, unrelated to cooking. And then I retired about 10 years ago now, and I've been teaching myself. Going to culinary school is a lot like going to medical school. You learn a language, but you really don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't until you worked and you perfected. So during the last 10 years, I've taught myself how to make the pasta from scratch, how to make the pizzas from scratch, how to use certain techniques like sous vide, which is when you cook something in a water bath, which used to be done only by restaurants. So I put the same energy that I had in my medical practice into
Cooking.
my next thing,
Chefing.
which is cooking.
Nice.
Should we call it
So
chefing?
that's exactly
Like
Yeah.
adulting? Is that
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
adulting?
So that's,
yes.
that's what we're gonna
Yeah,
do.
like
So
hashtag chefing. I
Yeah.
like that.
I know
chefing.
he hasn't eaten all day today. So
Oh, I told him. I said,
so
don't
let's see,
eat.
1, 2, 3,
I told Gabe, don't
4,
eat,
5,
so
6.
he's ready
So
to
I'm
eat.
gonna set up 6 plates here on the counter.
Wunderbar.
Just happen to have 6 plates.
Very
Happen
organized.
to have.
A lot of
I'm gonna
energy.
take the extra there, and then I'm gonna.
Well, I would imagine you
I
have to
decided
be
I
as
have
an
to do the next thing is
anesthesiologist.
I have to
Right,
plate
right.
everything.
You're good.
Because
What are
I
we
want-
drinking on? What's the wine pairing?
I'd like to know that.
So we're
Very
gonna
good.
Oh, yeah,
we're
that's
gonna
very good.
Tell us about the
there
wine
any
too.
more?
Oh, the
Oh.
wine. This is a lovely Zinfandel.
It's so great.
So this wine
Are your hands
is a
clean?
Ridge Zinfandel,
Mm-hmm.
but the important thing was that I looked at my wine cellar and I have an app on
He's
there
only
that tells
scratched his
me
ass once.
when.
Yeah, this is 13 years old. That's quite a bit for a Zinfandel, but this is right on the
and yet
money.
it's held up.
Oh,
Really good.
yeah.
Is there any more?
So the app actually reminds me when it needs to be drunk.
Thank you.
You pass those that way,
So-
please.
That's a great
How did you find
app.
this wine? It's really
my,
good.
my wine doesn't stay long enough to worry
Okay.
about that.
So this first drip,
Your
well,
app just says chug.
So
That's
this
right.
first-
Chug.
No, Sherry's a
This
good drink's a
first
good
dish-
wine first kind of lady. So
I love her. She's amazing. We
This
just
is-
hang out this weekend with his wife, and I
Yeah,
always
good
have so much
time.
fun with her.
okay, well, you
And
asked
you.
me to make some pizza, but I didn't make pizza. But what I made instead,
I'm glad you didn't.
I made a
Calzone?
stromboli.
Oh, Stromboli.
So this stromboli is
Can you educate us on how
Yeah,
what's
what is
the
that?
technicality, the
Yeah.
difference between a
Yes. I
stromboli
was
and
a-
a calzone?
I was just about to ask
Yeah.
that same question.
okay. So a stromboli uses the same kind of pizza dough,
Mm.
Okay.
but instead of folding it in half, it's rolled up like a jelly roll.
Oh,
or like
okay.
So
it's like
I'm
an
gonna
Italian
put-
burrito.
So I'm gonna, yeah.
Asking, I
which,
don't know.
which makes Patty very happy because that's her favorite food,
I love Patty. Thank you for marrying her.
Wait, what's your favorite food, Patty?
Mexican.
Mexican
Mexican
food.
food,
I love Mexican
Okay, so we're gonna do a little balsamic glaze on it at the end to make it look pretty.
While he's getting that ready, can you tell us how you guys met? Patty, go to
yes,
the mic.
Yes,
Here it is.
we met years ago through a mutual friend.
How many years ago?
It was 1998. We met just once.
I
and
was
then,
just saying that it was the late 1900s. That's how
Yes,
long ago.
yeah, late 1900s.
So 27 years ago?
Yes,
Wow.
yes, we're friends, but we had our own lives then, and so then a couple years ago he reached out to me on Facebook and on. Yes, I need to talk louder.
No,
So
just in here so it sounds clear.
It's all
Okay.
good.
So anyways, so then we met up and talked and stuff, and ever since then.
How long did you guys start dating this time, and then he engaged you?
16 months.
Thanks to me.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Kinga's taking full credit.
I just said, Stu.
How
Dr.
was
Stu, you're so lucky to be with her. I love her.
That's so
And
sweet.
I just could see.
Just
that you
for the
guys were, like,
record, Kinga,
texting
I
each other
take,
sentences.
I
Can I be the
appreciate,
maid of honor? Where's the wedding? Where's the wedding?
We have honestly, we're just enjoying the engagement.
Should we
right
do it in
now.
your backyard?
Backyard is
It,
beautiful.
are you talking
Yeah.
about my backyard or
Yeah.
your backyard?
Well,
She
either
volunteered to
one.
her house.
Either one. Either one.
That's a first.
All right, so this pasta and shrimp look amazing.
Okay, which one doesn't have a shrimp on it? Can you see?
I think it's that one.
No, there's a shrimp
Oh, there's a
there.
shrimp there, all right.
There's a
Shrimp
shrimp
there.
I know doctors are supposed to like clean their hands and be all like perfectionists about germs.
He's pretty much a perfectionist, but yeah, as you
Right?
can tell with the pouring right
So
now.
were you totally shocked when you got your ring?
We had talked about it, but I was still shocked
Mm.
because
Like,
So
were
you
you
said the
surprised?
pasta dish
Yes.
was. You said the pasta.
because we went out to a restaurant and it
So
was.
tell us about the engagement. Wait, she's going to talk about the engagement.
Okay.
Tell us how you got engaged.
We were at a simple restaurant. The restaurant is Yellow Bell. We went there
Okay.
and I love Mexican food, and they happen to have a chimichanga. It was very laid back.
It's
and-
Mexican food called Yellow Bell.
Yes.
Where is that?
24th Street in Camelback in the Canby.
Do you know that?
Yeah,
Yep.
so it was a casual. I mean, wasn't. I always thought that he would
Okay.
maybe do it like a fine dining and white tablecloths. So it was totally surprised me. So it was a simple, great
How cute.
restaurant, but I wasn't expecting it
So
at all.
all of a sudden he just, what did he do? Get on his
well,
knee?
he had to go
or-
to the bathroom, and then he came back, and then that's when he got on his knee. And I was-
He got on his knee.
He got on his knee.
I've been on my knees ever since.
And then what did he say?
Will you marry me? It was right. Yep. Yeah. So I said yes,
cute.
and then he put the ring on my finger, and that was just a couple weeks ago.
Very
I
nice.
love it.
All right,
So
from that
cute.
story, I have one
Congratulations.
question.
Thank
you. It's a big deal.
Congratulations.
It's a big deal.
It's a big
So,
I'm
so
excited.
Dr. Stu, is a chimichanga a fried stromboli?
No, I don't know the answer to that and many other questions. Okay,
I love it.
This looks amazing. What was that other thing that you just put on?
I'm going to tell you everything that's on the plate,
All right.
and I saved the dessert for the end.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, you don't have to have like a towel or napkin or anything like that.
Gabe,
I have-
Oh,
nice.
perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh,
Okay,
there we
so
go.
what's on the plate? I don't know. Can you see on the screen what's
Yeah,
on the plate?
Yes.
I can't
Yes.
pick that up.
Yes.
So we have
Yes.
3 things on the plate. One is the fresh pasta that we made yesterday. We being Patty watched me make it, and she helped me with it.
But then
Like,
she cleans up, she said.
Yes.
So you said it's simple, but what is the sauce that's on
Yeah,
there?
what's
the
in it?
sauce is a combination of olive oil and harissa. Now I had a
Harissa, I've never heard of
harissa
that.
is a Tunisian
Sounds like a
spice
girl.
mix.
Mhm.
And my good friend of mine who unfortunately passed years ago was the one
Oh.
person I used to love cooking for because he was a professional chef here in town. You probably knew him from when he worked at the famous store
Mhm.
named Omar
Mm.
Matmati, and then he had a restaurant called Phoenix on 40th and
Oh yeah,
Camelback.
sure, of course.
And unfortunately, he passed away. But I used to cook for him on Thanksgiving every year, and like he was who I was cooking for. Everyone else was eating the food.
Mhm.
He was my challenge. And so harissa is a Tunisian spice mix that he turned me on to. So it's very simple: fresh pasta, olive oil, harissa. You can make the harissa. You can buy it in a jar at Trader Joe's. It works out great. Then we have an egg roll.
Right.
Egg roll, I buy the wrappers and I just turn whatever leftover I have into the next dish.
Mhm.
So I made a leg of lamb that I
Ooh.
probably cooked a little too much for me because I
Mhm.
like it blood red. so it's like more medium. So I diced it up and made it into a lamb egg roll.
Oh, nice.
And then the other dishes is stromboli. This stromboli has mozzarella cheese.
What, I don't know what a stromboli is.
It's a
We already
rolled
talked
up
about that.
pizza
Oh, tell me
dough.
again.
It's a rolled up pizza dough like
Oh,
a
yeah, yeah.
jelly
Okay,
roll.
okay.
Mhm.
She was talking about it 10 minutes ago. She
We were
did.
talking
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
engagement girl
And
stuff.
Yeah.
it
She was
had-
distracting me. We're talking about
Yeah.
marriage.
I know it has prosciutto and two
Sorry.
different
Right,
cheeses
right.
in it and fig
Oh.
jam.
Is
Oh,
it?
wow.
Fig butter, actually.
Wow. Okay, okay.
And then a drizzle of balsamic on it. So you have your forks and your knives.
Wow. Yeah, I told Gabe don't eat anything.
That was
There
smart
you
of
go.
I said eat nothing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, it looks
Now I
amazing.
know there's
Thank
lamb
you.
on your plate. You don't have to eat it, dear.
And then you have you set that over there.
Okay.
Wow, this looks
Oh,
amazing.
sorry.
Oh, sorry. It's
All right,
amazing.
what to try first?
Wow.
And then dessert is at the end. I'll tell you about dessert later.
All right, I think I'm gonna try the pasta first.
So what
Just
are you
Is
trying?
there an
Just the
extra set
pasta
of
first.
forks?
Let's all
somewhere?
try the same thing first.
Okay.
Pasta
Yes,
first?
pasta first. I don't.
There should be one over.
One more.
There should be a fork.
Wow. It's so good.
You
No,
missing
there's
one?
not a set, another setup somewhere. I thought I brought
I think there
6.
is.
Maybe I brought 5 instead of 6. It's okay.
What's-
I can use my fingers.
I can eat with my fingers too. It's not the first.
You don't
time.
have a setting?
No, I have one.
we
So
don't-
yeah, the
Okay.
Tunisian spice.
Mmm.
It's got a
It's
little
a
spice.
little
It's
kick, but
got a
it's
little bit, but
not-
not bad.
And,
Wow.
and the nice thing about it, it's not like you know how some are so spicy that they hurt you on the way in or on the way out.
Yes.
This is a little milder,
Mhm.
really nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Wow.
All right, let's see what it is with the
Wow.
shrimp.
Showing this tournament that I'm in,
Wow.
Ooh,
there
So
were
good.
it's spoiled.
Wow. So
initially 150,000 people. This week, I think we're down to the last 2 days, and they're going down to 5, which will be a total of maybe about 7,500.
good. You're the winner.
No, 7,500.
You're the winner.
You're the winner.
We've
And I'll be in
decided
it.
that.
Yeah, that's the title
So
of the show.
what
You're
I
the winner.
need is not only for you to vote for me, but you to get all your friends to get into the house. So every day when you're
Yeah.
having dinner and you're thinking about, oh, I wonder what Dr. Stu Chef is having for dinner, or what Patty's getting to eat for dinner because Dr. Stu Chef made it for you. What I want you to do is vote every
Okay.
24 hours on a free vote on Facebook. And if you see towards the end of because it'll tell you how much time is left in that round, if you see that I'm going to be eliminated soon, then it's okay if you want to make a donation. The donation goes towards the James Beard Foundation.
Really?
That's the charity that's involved with this.
Nice.
That's a big deal. Wow.
So, but the key is that I need to get my group to grow
Mm-hmm.
and to start getting into the habit
Do
of
you
doing
understand
it
how to
every
do
day.
this?
Mm.
Yeah, do you?
Now, if you go onto the page, I also posted some of these recipes that I used.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, I'm not a big fan of recipes to begin with
Why?
because I think I don't like teaching people recipes. I like teaching people techniques. So, for instance, like when I taught my kids before they went away to college, I taught them chicken marsala, but I did it in a pan. And chicken marsala, the sauce is a pan sauce. Well, you can make chicken marsala in a pan sauce, but then you could make something totally different. Like I made, if you look on the page, you'll see I made grilled ostrich with the blueberry port wine sauce.
Mm.
Well, the sauce is the same kind of thing, just with different ingredients. So once you learn the technique, you can apply it to whatever you have in the house.
Right.
And
So your kids can cook?
both my kids can cook, yes.
What is ostrich meat like?
Yeah.
Steak.
It's so good.
Yeah,
it's
actually,
a
if
lot
you go,
more
if
like
you,
steak.
it looks like the one thing you don't want to do to ostrich is overcook it. But if you go look on this link here, you'll see a picture of one of the ostrich dishes that I made.
Favorite.
What is the link?
favechef.com.
Thank you.
And then you could also vote while you're there. But you can read what I had to say. There's a whole bunch of pictures of the food that I have.
Tell me about this thing. It's so good.
So where would you rank ostrich? Like, do you think it's like tied with steak in your preferences? Like,
Well,
because I'm trying to think if I want to actually go through
A
the trying
few-
it.
I know,
A
I
few
know.
years ago, what happened was. Sorry, I'm eating with my hands.
No, it's okay.
But you notice the difference between using fresh pasta
Oh yeah.
and
And it's nice
dry
and
pasta
thin.
for this?
Yeah.
It had the pasta itself has so much more flavor itself, so you don't want to overwhelm it
Right.
with your ingredients. So keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
Back to the ostrich.
Back to
So
the
back to
ostrich.
Thank you.
here.
No,
This is
it's
the best
more-
way that
you
I
get
can
some more.
describe it real quick, but just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Shark is to fish as ostrich is to chicken.
Interesting.
Oh.
Like shark is
Say
the
it
fish.
again?
Shark is to fish.
So you're comparing it more to chicken then instead of steak. His first comparison.
Well,
was
it
to
is.
steak.
It is more like steak, but it's a bird. So I'm. But it's like what I'm saying is it's like it's a total step up. Like shark is a completely step up from just like a tilapia or a salmon. It's got a lot more. It's got a lot. It's firmer. It's got a lot more body and texture. That's what ostrich has. It's just got a lot of body and texture.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you look at it, it looks like a red meat.
It does.
So is it more like
Interesting.
steak or chicken?
It's way more like steak.
Mm.
You would know if I put it on a plate and didn't tell you, like I'm going to do for Patty one day.
No, he promised me we wouldn't.
Anyway, if
Why?
if I put it on a
I need to be warned just so I have an idea.
yeah. So anyway, it's
I like
it's
that.
delicious.
I was gonna say, did you like
and
Nella
the sauce
ostrich?
is
You're
very
friends with
interesting.
that?
Hold on,
for that.
let's hear.
The sauce that I make for it was very interesting. One of my good buddies, his name is Mike Mendelson.
Have I met him?
No, you haven't. He's a builder in town here. He does a lot of work. He's a great guy.
In your area?
All around. Anyway, so he and I had a conversation one day because I had been to New Orleans and had this delicious duck dish. And he pulled out his phone and showed me the picture of the exact same dish that I had because he had it 3 years previous, and he said it was the best duck he ever had. So then I was on a mission. Not only was I going to recreate that duck dish, but I was going to teach Mike how to make it for his friends and family, and we did. So we
I
made,
love it.
and so
And he did. Did you hear that? He did it.
and all I did was look at, remember that the sauce was a blueberry port wine sauce. So how do you make a blueberry port wine sauce? Like you make any other sauce. So I put fresh blueberries in a pan, put in some duck stock, let
What?
it
Some
reduce.
what?
Duck stock,
Duck stock, like chicken broth? Duck
like
stock?
chicken broth.
But-
and,
but-
and if you don't have duck stock in your freezer like I do, you use chicken broth,
Right.
which is fine.
Okay.
So I made the sauce and then flambéed it with some port wine, and it was delicious. And then cooked the
And wait, dumb it down
Duck.
for people that don't know. How do
Yes.
you flambe it?
Yeah, flambe. We do.
burn
Yeah.
off the alcohol.
How do you
That's-
flambe it?
Burn off the alcohol. You just
With
There
a
was
torch,
alcohol
right?
on
either
it.
with a torch or you just tilt your pan. The fumes catch on fire, and you think you're burning down the house. But you warn people before you do that. Burning
Yeah,
down
warn
the
people.
house.
Very impressed with the stromboli, by the way.
It's so
I had
good.
the lowest expectations just because it sounded like I wasn't sure about the ingredients, but they all came together such an interesting way. That was my
Yeah,
favorite
that's
thing on the
so
plate.
And what's funny about that? That's based on one of the pizzas that I make, which has the prosciutto not cooked. So it's actually one that my daughter makes all the time, and she loves it. It's basically making a pizza that just has
Mike Markham.
Forgot to put it on you.
wrong mic. No, I have a message built in here that it says, "Sorry, I can't talk," and send it back. I also have one that says, "Fuck you, quit calling." But that's another.
But yeah, the stromboli is amazing.
So, yeah,
so
so-
interesting.
Wow.
So,
That is so interesting.
basically, it's and when I do it as I make it as a pizza, it's a cheese pizza with the fig butter, and then when it comes off the fire and the cheese is melted and everything's hot, then I finish it off with the prosciutto and the arugula and the balsamic, and it's just a delicious pizza.
Okay, so what's in this one? This is so good.
This is the
That's the
That's
stromboli.
what we're
That's
talking
exactly what I was
about.
just talking about.
Okay.
She was so enamored.
It's an
with it, she didn't
interesting
know where
combination
she
of savory with the cheese and then the sweet with the fish.
Yep. Yep.
So good.
So what I'm also doing
Wow.
now, besides
Wow.
this contest, is talking with my mouth full.
But also, when's the wedding? You're trying to get married here. You
Squirrel.
had-
Okay, now we just got engaged, and we are enjoying our engagement, and we have absolutely no plans about the wedding right now. So
But I want to make it about the wedding.
I understand that. That's what you want. But
It's good to want things, Kingo.
But-
It's really good to
But
want.
Patty and I are actually on the same page with this right now. We're enjoying the engagement, and we're in no rush.
Oh, you don't want to move it up so that she can go shopping for her outfit?
With
I'm sure that's the
Kingo?
only reason.
Are you sure you don't?
Doesn't just go shopping for her.
You talking
Patience.
about, you talking
You're
about Patty?
No, my mom.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, your mom.
She wants you to
Yeah.
move it up so she can go shopping, probably.
She and I'll go shopping.
Okay, so
soon.
the other thing though that I'm doing now is I bought another pizza oven. You've already seen
Oh,
at
yeah.
least one of them or two of them.
Yes.
I bought a new pizza oven that's portable. Because what I really want to do is there's a lot of people who either want to learn how to make pizza at home
Yeah.
or want to have an event with pizza at home.
Yeah.
Even a
So
wedding.
Now, so now I can do it where I bring it to them
There's always
or
pizza
they come
emergencies.
to me and
Totally.
I offer classes for people to learn how to make their own dough, their own sauce, because anyone could go to the store and buy a dough, and I'm always asked what's the best dough.
Pizzas in the store are getting expensive, and they're okay. And you can make
That's
your
true.
own pizza for next to nothing.
That's true. And how much is it? I don't mean to be rude, but your first pizza oven you buy, what does that cost?
Well, I have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pizza ovens, and
Five.
they range in price from a couple of $100 to a couple of $1,000s. But I also
What's the
have,
best value?
Okay, so see, that's the kind of question
Okay.
that you can't answer because
Okay.
it's like
What do you-
saying
what
what's
do you
the
have?
best dough, and it depends on what your end product you want it to be. I like I grew up in New York. You're talking to me. I grew up in New York, so I grew up with New York pizza. You could do New York pizza in your oven with a pizza stone or a pizza steel. You don't need to go buy, but you do need to learn how to make the right dough. And no, it has nothing to do with the water.
But no, hold on. I thought the flour is a big deal.
Flour is a big deal.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Where do you get your flour?
I get my flour from a company called
Is it from Italy?
no. I've used
Oh.
Italian flour. I buy a flour called Central Mill flour that's actually made in the Western States. I make my own sauce that I use Bianco's sauce and make it from
Pizza Bianco?
Yes, and I've been friends with him for 25 years. So what I started to say before was that
Wow.
when I first started making pizza, I wanted to make the New York pizza that I grew up with. But then once I did that, I wanted to make what I call the Neapolitan pizza that Chris makes, and
Chris Bianco.
Chris Bianco.
Of
Yes.
Bianco Pizza.
Bianco pizza, and I want. And I
Have you
think,
been there?
and I think I'm
you been
pretty
there?
close. I'm not
He is.
Chris Bianco yet, but my pizza's pretty good. I can show you a list of the number of different.
It would
pizza-
be amazing if you saw this list. It just goes and goes and goes. But
How do you feel
it's
about-
definitely his thing.
How do you feel about Chicago style soup pizza?
That's a
The
good
deep
question.
I've not heard of that.
No, I was like roasting it because it's so like deep dish pizza is so thick it feels like a bowl of soup is
Soup.
being set down in front of you.
Well, I grew up in New York,
It
but I
tastes
also
good,
lived
but-
in Chicago for 6 years, and I live right next to a couple of really good pizza places, and I love them all. So I love Chicago pizza. I like Detroit style pizza. I like New York style.
What's your favorite?
I love the taste
My-
of deep dish, but the last time I ordered it, after I left the restaurant, I felt like I was like needed to go home. I felt like I was shot with a
Sleep.
tranquilizer.
You need to go to
dart.
sleep.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so heavy.
It's
It's,
a
like
meal.
a bowl of cheese.
Well, that's the
Right.
difference with
Yeah.
like Chicago
Yeah.
pizza is like a meal, and New York pizza is like a snack. You pick up a slice, you fold it, and you walk in the street, and you burn the roof of your mouth. You're happy.
Yeah, 2 slices of New York pizza, you can go on with your night, but
Right.
2 slices of Chicago pizza, good luck. Good luck.
So
That's
I-
true, but maybe
and-
that's what grew your hair. to
And
this
I've
level.
made all
Teddy
different
music.
stuff. I've made
Look
all
at you, Teddy
different.
Music hair.
I know, he's nice hair.
You got good hair.
It's not good for the podcast listeners. Continue on.
So I've made all different styles, and that's why when people ask me what's the best dough, what's the best, it depends on what your end game is. What do you go?
What
for?
is your end
like
game?
for instance, like one of the pizzas that I made for you in the past had shrimp and Thai sauce on it,
So good.
and one was a dry. So the doughs are different depending on what you're going after, and that's one of the things that I teach in the class is how to make the dough and how to modify the dough for what your end game is.
What is
So,
your
hold on,
end
that's
game?
important.
She wants
So-
to know your end game.
I love that.
Yes,
I love that
I
you're
have a-
saying
I
that.
have a really
Yeah.
good listener.
My end
Yes.
game is my mom was a teacher and my dad was a teacher.
And your mom recently moved here to Arizona.
My mom moved here. She's
He
80
moved her here.
She
Yeah.
moved herself. She's 88 years young, and she's doing great. She's living out in called Sun Lakes, and she's doing really well. And
Can I interrupt and say that it's
You don't
one of
know
the reasons
how-
why I loved is how you,
You
talked
didn't
about.
really
Yeah.
ask
No,
it
no.
as a question. You're like,
No,
I'm
okay.
interrupted.
I'm interrupting. I loved one of the things
your
that
show.
you're going to be good with Stu because he takes care of his mom.
He does. That's huge.
Yeah, tell
If
that.
If a,
I know that.
If
because
a
he always takes care of his
man
mom.
has a good relationship or takes care of his mom, then that's such a plus.
Yes,
It really is.
Yeah,
It just
because they
says
treat
a
women
lot.
good. Yeah.
Says a
And
lot.
he's always like gone to where she is, taking care of her, taking
Helped
her on
her.
trips.
You
And
know
now he
what?
moved her out here. and
She
he's
took
taking his
care of
mom.
me.
Yeah.
And
I
he
take
visits
care
her
of
once
her.
a week
Yeah.
and brings her food and his
I know.
vacuum sealed food.
Yeah.
And she has everything that she would possibly need in the freezer.
Sure.
I love it.
That's awesome.
One question
I
I,
love
have
it.
is you said you used to like to cook for that friend of yours that was kind of like a challenge because he was a professional chef. Do you have any other dishes that you're like kind of like chasing that are a challenge?
Well,
That's
you
a
know,
good
Like
question.
is like a chocolate souffle
That's a
or
good
something?
question.
Is there something
Yeah.
difficult that
Yeah.
you're trying to master
I
still?
will, I will
question.
say that one of the best dishes I made, which is a little bit of a challenge, was a beef Wellington.
Ooh,
Oh.
And I made the beef Wellington a number of times, and I think the last time Patty and I had it together, and then I
I
sliced
gave
it
him the
up
challenge.
and sent some of it to my mom in a vacuum pack that you were talking about. Yeah, that and that's. It's not that it's so hard to do, but there are steps, and you have to understand what you're doing. And I actually took it the next step. I actually sous vide the meat because I wanted it to be the perfect temperature.
Once again, tell our audience what
Sous
sous vide
vide.
means. I know what it means. Who's a
Sous
Richard
vide
Betts.
is taking your food,
Chet doesn't know
putting
what
it
it
into a plastic bag,
And it's
and
like
then
boiling
immersing
almost.
it into the water,
Water. Yeah.
a water bath. But the water bath is at the temperature that you want the meat to get to. So, like, I eat my meat rare. So the final temperature for rare is about 125 degrees. So if I cook the meat to 125 degrees, it'll be rare. And it doesn't matter if I cook it for an hour or 3 hours, because it never gets higher than the 125.
Got it.
So I made that.
But hold on. So the meat. Let's explain it a little bit. Like,
Well, a Wellington is
It's in a
a
plastic-
tenderloin.
okay, let's let Patty tell it.
It's basically in a plastic container, like a shoebox kind of. And
Okay.
it's got water in it, and then there's a plastic bag, and it's got meat, and it's cooking. So the first time I saw it, I'm like, what is this? But it's really, really good. But
Yes.
yes, it's like in a plastic container. You can see
So it's almost like okay. Richard Betts does this a lot, so I do know about it. So you take this, it's like boiling water, and then there's this container.
It's not boiling water.
Oh,
That's the
okay,
whole
okay.
point. Is because
Oh, okay.
if you're cooking something like
Okay.
steak and you want it to be medium temperature is 135 degrees.
And what's
So
boiling?
212.
212.
How do you not know that?
Oh, I
college.
love that you know that. My
That
goodness.
should be like common knowledge. Like
Yeah.
that's like not knowing
didn't-
that the sky's
Say,
blue.
I didn't know it either.
Oh, thank you.
You're
I didn't know
welcome.
that. We both
Okay.
didn't know. We both didn't know. Okay. So did
Did you
know
really
that?
not know that? Tonight's trivia night. You better know that.
Yeah, I know
We
now.
didn't know, but now we
I was a
know.
chemist, so I had to.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
It was
So
part
we
of my
both
job.
learned it's 212.
Now, like I give
Yeah.
you an example, like chicken. If you want chicken breast, you cook it safe at 150 degrees. But
So you
if
just
you
heat the
cook
water up to 150.
50, it
and
never
then-
gets hotter than
Oh,
that.
that's
So
interesting.
it's the chicken comes. So one of the best ways to make like fried chicken
Mhm.
is I sous vide the chicken breast first, then I bread it and finish it off in the fryer to put the
Mhm.
coating. on it.
Crispiness on
And
it.
if you're doing something like dark meat from chicken, you want it a little higher. You want like 165 degrees,
Okay. Why is that?
just because of the safe zone for the chicken.
Gotcha.
If you cooking vegetables, they need to be cooked at a higher temperature actually. So like if you're cooking asparagus in a sous vide, you cook it to 185 degrees.
Mhm.
But how do you define sous vide? Like for somebody that doesn't understand what we're
He
saying.
explained it. It's
So- okay,
it's
so-
warm water in the bag, and it heats it to the temperature of the bag.
Break it down.
He already explained that.
I said
temperature.
boiling and I was wrong.
It's so what it is when you ask a question, you have to listen to the answer. So it's you put your food in for a certain temperature and a certain time based on how thick it is.
That's all good, but I want to know about this sous vide stuff.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, re-explain it. We didn't get it.
Okay,
It boils, right? It boils. You know.
that was very cute of you
I
there.
like it.
So what kind of plastic does the meat go into to go into this sous
Right.
vide?
Exactly.
What kind of plastic
I'm
is
not
it?
sure what it's not anything that's going to impart anything to the food. If
Right.
that's what you're worried
But it's
about.
more. It's kind
Yeah,
of a heavy
I'm worried
duty.
about like
That's a good point.
yes.
Heavy duty
Like that
plastic,
plastic.
right? Probably
Yeah,
PET.
Because most
you
people
put it
don't
in
think
a-
plastic
you
is
put it in a
good.
vacuum sealer.
Mhm.
Would a doctor that's naturopathic think that this is like a
You
healthy
put
way
it
to
in a
cook
vacuum sealer. and
That's
it
that's
works
actually a
just
great question because
Yeah.
there is a lot of concern
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
leaving
Plastic and
food
plastic.
in plastic containers and
Okay,
microplastics.
so-
What do you think about that, Dr. Stu?
Yeah.
I do believe that what goes in goes out, and
Uh-huh.
that it's very important to
Oh,
be careful what you're putting in your body. But I'm not one of those people who worried about the microplastics that
Okay.
are in the ocean, that are in everything that are in your body. You can't do anything about it.
They're just
It's as simple as that. It's
yeah.
just like
worrying about is worse than yeah.
so. Anyway, so this is one of your dessert.
I'm
that's coming
already
up.
cookies.
Now, I'm not
Ah.
much of a baker, but I tell you that I keep these in the house 24/7.
Okay, let's get them to us right now.
Mhm.
I want to eat them.
Okay.
They're so good.
I want one right now.
So
Yeah.
I noticed he's
I'm
using
already
the,
cookies.
the English grams. 250 grams almond flour.
No, and I also gave it in
I know,
cups.
I'm just
But
teasing.
the reason why I actually I weigh my stuff.
Yeah.
So these will be great every morning with your coffee. They'll be great at night before you go to bed with your espresso
Wow.
or your liquor or your wine. It goes
Mm.
in pairs. And I make these. They're so simple to make.
It's almost like
That's
a
the
spy.
recipe there. If you go and vote for me and you look at the pictures, you can
Wow. You're
actually
so
download
good.
this.
No, these are so good. Wow, they're
Now,
soft.
I've had the Italian version from
Mm.
someplace, and they were too crispy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when it
These
hurts your
have
teeth.
the balance of the chew.
Mm-hmm.
They really are perfect. And I'm
These are
only
perfect.
saying that because I made them
When did you make them?
yesterday.
They're amazing.
You're right. They're crispy on the outside and very chewy on the inside. They're very good.
And they don't hurt your teeth. I don't like cookies or biscottis that hurt your teeth.
Yeah.
Wow, these are
So,
amazing. And they seem pretty healthy too.
so if you go on, all that's in it is egg white, almond flour,
Mm-hmm.
sugar,
lemon.
a little lemon zest, and a little vanilla and
Egg whites.
an almond extract.
Yeah.
So good.
It's not over sweet. That's what I like about it.
I don't like.
When I was
Very-
younger, I loved the really super
very
sweet
balanced.
stuff.
Mhm.
I can't do that anymore.
In the morning, it's perfect.
Oh, I bet.
Mm,
Well, we
it's
drink
better than
we drink cacao instead of coffee, which is
Drink what?
ground cacao. It's ground chocolate beans instead of ground coffee
Really?
beans. And then we get all these different flavors. That would go so good with it. We just got a new.
Those are so good. I love that.
We got a new
So
blend
if you
called
go
Highlander
to
Grog that
Almond
tastes
is
like
so
Irish
interesting.
coffee.
One
Really?
Oh, it's
on
so good.
Facebook,
Good.
you'll be able to find.
Wait, you got to tell the camera.
The
Say it
hashtag.
If you
again.
go
The
to
hashtag.
Dr. Stu 1, DRSTU1 on Facebook, you'll see a picture of me with a cigar in my mouth, so you'll know you got the right person. It'll say Stuart Cohn. If you go on Instagram, you go to Dr. Stu Chef, you'll also see some picture. If you go to this link on favorite chefs and start voting for me, you'll see things like this and recipes.
And then
like
Instagram.
this.
Are you on Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have Gabe take some pictures of us, and we'll post it on Instagram,
Perfect.
so we can get everybody to go on Instagram
So
too.
my goal is once
Oh, yes.
I become famous from doing this,
Mhm.
then I can then teach people how to do stuff for themselves at
I
home.
love that.
Because I don't really want to become the chef that runs the kitchen. I'd rather become the teacher that makes you the chef that cooks for yourself.
I love
Because I do believe what goes in you makes a big difference.
that. Yeah.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
you know, the best way to know
Teach someone how to fish.
Yes,
right,
exactly.
And the best way to know how to eat is to prepare you know what's going into it.
Mhm.
I mean, one of the things Patty and I like doing is going on Saturday mornings to the farmer's market. And instead of shopping for a recipe and buying the things I need for a recipe, we go and see what looks good, we buy it, and then I come and figure out what I'm gonna do with it when I get home.
So you buy what looks good, and then you make a recipe.
It's interesting because there's a
love that.
big parallel between what you're drawing between music and cooking. And let me explain a little bit deeper. So, when I was younger, I was in the Phoenix Boys Choir. I was in the Phoenix Masterworks Chorale. I was in the Naval Academy Glee Club. I sang, but we sang the same song exactly the same way. There was notes. It was a recipe for this song, and this is the way you did it. There was 16-part harmony, blah blah blah. Then I learned later in life with Junk how
Yes.
to improvise.
Chunk the band, his band.
How to
Okay.
take
Yeah.
a
It's called
structure
jazz.
of
It's
music.
called
Yes,
jazz,
right.
baby.
And that's what you're talking about for cooking
Right.
is learning how to step out of the structure. Although there's still a structure within
To give
improvisational cooking and improvisational music. It's just a much broader structure than a recipe or a sheet of music. So very interesting.
I love that. That's so profound because that's exactly right. It's the whole collective idea.
It's a way of thought, and I think it's also part of the art of cooking.
It's totally art.
Absolutely. You know, it's
It's the art of the deal.
Well, it makes it more fun too, because then you're doing it with passion and emotion, and not just following a list of steps.
right. Exactly. And
There's so much passion here, and that's true.
Precision, passion,
There's
and
definitely
purpose was part of the
There's definitely
manifesto.
I love that. Wait, say that
It was
again.
precision, passion, and purpose was part of his manifesto.
So maybe that should be the title of the show.
I think it was
Well-
there, right? Passion, purpose, and precision.
Yes, just
That's what she said. So passion, purpose, and precision for Dr. Stu.
There you go.
Well,
Number one winner.
it's a process. I mean, to say, you know, I'm still defining. You know, like I said, what I want to do is help people do it themselves.
You are. You are already doing
And
that.
you remember years ago, like before COVID, I was having all my cigar buddies over the house.
I
and
know.
doing
As I was going
cooking
through my divorce,
classes
you were
for
like
them.
making me laugh and having fun.
Right,
Yes.
and doing cooking classes.
Yeah.
And
I
some of
was
them
having fun with
wanted
all
to
his
learn how to
doctor
cook,
friends.
and some of them just wanted to eat the food.
Yeah.
And I understand both. And it was funny, the way we rewarded the ones that wanted to cook is I got paid. Now, of course, some of them were nice. They brought me a cigar or something like that.
Sure.
But the way I got paid was I wanted them to go and cook it for someone else,
Oh, nice.
take a picture of it, and send me the picture, because for me that was my payment.
Nice.
Seeing them do it for someone
Sure.
else.
Pay it forward. I love it.
Yeah, pay it
That's so
forward,
great.
exactly.
So we
Right?
only have about like 5 minutes left. Maybe if you could tell us any
4 minutes.
kind of like, you're like a legendary, like self-taught chef, but you've also done culinary school. Are there any like chef tips that people might not know about that you could give? Like, here's one that I see a lot of friends making this mistake all the time, are cooking with things on high heat with olive oil, which you're not supposed to do.
That's smart.
Well, I don't know that.
health reasons, yeah.
Certain times, I'll tell you something. What's really funny
3 minutes.
was eggs. I remember in culinary school,
Mm.
one day the chef saying, "We're going to learn how to make eggs, scrambled eggs," and we're like, "Fuck, we know how to make scrambled eggs." Well, so what he did is he took one of the wise guys who said he knew how to make eggs, and let him make them, and then he made them the right way, side by side, and we tasted them, night and day. So what is the secret to making eggs? Slow and low.
Interesting.
So when you cook your eggs, you cook it slowly, and you cook it under low temperature, and you move it, and you take it off before it's overcooked, because it's going to continue cooking, and you'll have a beautiful different product than you will if you.
So that's a great cooking tip. What's your next cooking
Yeah, that was a
tip?
great one,
It
because I
is.
feel like
It's
I
a great
usually
one.
put
I'm
my
like this.
burner on like medium or something.
Slow and
Okay,
slow. So
That's a
cooking
great one.
eggs is a
Great
lot
one.
like making love, is what you're saying.
Ah, Sherry needs to hear
Well,
that.
it's only-
Ooh.
Yeah.
Down to 2 minutes now.
Patty.
Don't embarrass my fiance, okay?
Patty. Slow and low.
Of course,
I'm
yeah.
not in a rush.
Slow and
I don't
Low
do-
and low.
You know, the slow food movement that we talked about
right.
was a reaction to fast food, and it was originally happened in the 1980s or something like 90s, where they had built a fast food restaurant like a McDonald's at the bottom of the Spanish Steps, and in I guess that's Rome, and they said, "Wait a minute, this is terrible. We're going to go the other direction." So they started looking where the ingredients came from and what you were putting into, and the time that you spent doing it, and the love that goes into the food for your friends and your family. And that's sort of what I do for myself and for my love and for my friends.
So you have
I love that. Well,
Okay.
we got the egg tip. That was awesome. Do you have
One more
any
tip.
other nuggets
so-
like that are similar? Because that was a really good
People
one.
making pizza. I actually have a thing. One of the things that you're making the pizza, you're sliding it,
Oh.
and it won't slide, and then you go into your oven and you make a mess, either your kitchen oven or because it just doesn't come off the peel and it all bunches up. So what I do is I take a very big plate, put it on top, flip it over, and then redust it with semolina flour, put it back, and make sure it slides before it goes in the oven. And I tell you, if you're making pizza at home,
Wow.
either in the oven or outside, that is key.
Okay.
That's a great tip.
Because when it gets stuck, it ruins it.
It's
So you've got
really-
30 seconds to give your message about your competition.
And you
Okay.
go vote for Stu. Vote for
Vote
Stu.
for
Yeah,
Stu.
so
Vote for Steve,
basically,
vote for Steve.
find me on Facebook. Either follow me or friend me. It doesn't really matter. You can just follow me if you don't want anything. You'll see there'll be links on my story that you can click to go vote. Try to get in the habit of voting for me every day, especially when you're thinking about what you're having for dinner.
Especially if it's pizza.
Every day.
No, it
'cause
could be
goes
anything.
for,
It doesn't
you
have
should
to be
tell them
pizza.
when
And
for
if
another
you-
month. It's about
And if
another
you
month.
want, if you live in Phoenix area and you want to do an event, I can be hired for that. I can be bought.
All right.
You can.
All right.
He can totally be
you
fine.
you can.
He and his
you
bride.
can DM me on Facebook and we could discuss it further down
You'll
the road.
come in and make all the pizzas.
All right. Well, thank you.
Saving the
That's
planet
Dr.
one pizza at a time.
time.